Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It is Christian here. Thank you so much for joining me today. So today we're going to be doing a little bit of a mini review here on my channel. I haul so much on my channel, but I feel like I'm not the best at updating you guys. I don't film monthly favorites regularly. I kind of am like, here you go, and I feel like the only time you really hear about it is if it's something that I absolutely love. You don't really hear about too often the things that fall in the middle. So today we're going to be talking about some products that you have seen in recent Sephora and Ulta hauls. It's not too many products, it's probably 4 or 5. Now these are products that when I first saw them, I was so hype, so excited. I knew they were going to be life-changing, game-changing, holy grail, never going to live without these products, best of the best. And my actual reality hasn't quite been that. Now there's only one product in here that I outwardly don't like. The rest of them are good or okay. And no, there's 2 products I outwardly don't like. And the rest of them are either good or okay. And they just didn't live up to the hype that I had placed upon them in my head. And sometimes that's such the hard part. When you have so much makeup in your collection, it takes a lot to get you excited about new things. And when you get like super excited about new things and they don't live up to the hype, you're kind of like, oh, so you're just makeup, as opposed to like the game-changing situation that we like talked about 30 seconds ago. You know what I mean? So anyways, if you guys are interested in some mini reviews on some products that are new or new-ish at Sephora and what I think about them, then you're in the right place and you want to go ahead and keep on watching. But before I get into that video, I just want to say that if you're new to my channel, welcome. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you do not mind, go ahead and hit the subscribe button down below. Turn on that notification bell so you're notified of all future upcoming videos. And if you are not new to my channel, welcome back. Thank you for continuing to join and support. And yeah, you guys, let's go ahead and get started. So the first product. And if you watched my haul videos, see, most of you guys are like a lot smarter than me. I had one of you guys recommend, well, why don't you get a sample size before you return it or before you open it? Go ask for samples. I am the queen of never asking for a sample when it comes to stuff at Sephora. I buy the full size. I keep my fingers on my toes crossed and pray for the best. Now, this product I have officially decided that I don't like. So I went back and forth with it quite a few times. The first time I applied it, I was like, oh, it's nice. The second, third, fourth time, I was kind of like, this sucks. And then, you know, I was too iffy, too wishy-washy. And then I finally just got to the point that it just doesn't look the best on my skin. I think that if I prep my skin a ton, get the right primers and things, like the right kind of face situation, like primers, setting mist, powders, things like that, like I can make it work, but like it takes a lot to make it work. And I had so much hype and I had so much high expectation for this product, and it let me down. This is the Sunday Riley The Influencer Foundation. I did pick mine up in the shade 140. So the one thing that I will say about the shade is a pretty spot on match for me. Like, it's a pretty good freaking color match, and I did love that. Here's the thing. The first time I tried the foundation, I was kind of like, it looked so beautiful on the skin. And then the longer I wore it, I kind of started to notice like dry patches like starting to appear, which I do have. I have combination oily skin, but I used to have severely dry skin. And every once in a while, like my skin decides it wants to play me, and like those severe dry patches will like come out and like be super aggressive. I feel like even though my skin has been a little bit more on the oily side recently, this foundation just didn't look good on my skin. I feel like I tried so many different methods, so many different primers, my holy grail primers that typically work with everything. I used brushes, I used beauty blenders, I just tried different concealers, and I just was like not that impressed. The first time that I wore it was the only time that I was kind of like, wow, this is actually nice. But then throughout the day, it just did not wear well on the skin. It just kind of like my forehead would get super splotchy. In between my eyebrows would be like a hot mess. And this was one of those products, by the time that I saw reviews, I was already so afraid that I wasn't going to love it. But I decided not to return it and go ahead and give it a shot anyway. I'm not going to return it now because I feel like I've used it too much to return it now. I typically, once I start trying things like 4, 5, 6 times, I typically don't like to return it because I feel like I've used too much of the product already. Normally when I return something, it's after like the first or the second use. So I feel like maybe I'll continue to play with it. If my opinions change towards it, I will of course keep you updated. But this is a product that I had like up here and it like performed like down here. So I just wasn't happy. And let me tell you the claims. It says it's natural looking, long wearing, lightweight feel, satin matte, medium to full coverage. So it does not look natural, first of all. I do not think it's long wearing. I do think that it was lightweight on the skin. Like, it wasn't one of those foundations that I felt like I wanted to claw my skin off at the end of the day. You know what I'm talking about. Satin matte, I'll give it that as well. and it was a medium to a full coverage. I think it leaned a little bit more towards medium than full, but this is just one of those things that I was just like, I thought it was going to be my everything, and it ended up being like nothing at all. The next product that I want to talk about. I will be fair with this product. I've only tried it twice, and both times I tried it, I was attempting to film full face to first impressions. So whenever you're filming full face to first impressions, it could kind of go either way. It could be the products that you're putting underneath it. It could be the products that you're putting over top of it. But the product that I had high hopes for, because the foundation is, you guys, I swear I find a reason to talk about this foundation in every video. The foundation is my favorite. It is my holy grail foundation. It is the Laura Mercier Flawless Fusion Foundation, and I was obsessed with that foundation after first instant application. I have a foundation Friday, which I think I'm gonna start doing those again as well. It's been probably close to a year since I filmed a foundation Friday, maybe not quite that long. But anyways, this is the product that we're talking about today. This is the Laura Mercier Flawless Fusion Ultra Longwear Concealer. I have mine in the shade 1N. I picked it up in the shade 1N because I'm 2-in-1 cashew in the like counterpart of the foundation. Now, again, I've only tried it twice, but I've been too scared to try it since then. So whenever I have to like work, whenever I have to go to work, I tend to wear like the foundations, the concealers, and things that I know that are gonna like look good on me and last all day on me. I tend to not like to try my new makeup like on days where I have to work, because the worst thing that I could ever imagine is testing out new makeup like halfway through my workday and having my face look awful. That's happened a couple times, and then you realize that you still have like 5 hours left in your day, and then it just ruins your entire day. So I typically only wear new makeup like when I'm home testing it or putting it on for the camera, and or on my days off. So okay, so here's the thing about this concealer. Let me tell you what it claims first. It says that it is this long-wearing, high-performance, weightless concealer gives 12 hours of medium to full coverage that's crease, transfer, and water-resistant. Conceals under eye and face while blurring the look of imperfections. First of all, this thing creased more than any other concealer that I've tried in recent history has creased. It creased so badly. Now, to be fair, full face to first impression, so I was using other like new powder, so I understand that that might not be like the best judge, but it, like, when I first applied it, I was like, oh my gosh, like it blended effortlessly. It looked so smooth. I was like, winner chicken dinner. Like, this is amazing. We've got it. Like, yes, I finally found something that I can retire my Urban Decay Naked Skin, because as you guys know, it's my holy grail concealer. I buy it all the time. It's the only concealer that I constantly repurchase, and I was like, this is gonna be it. It's not. So here's my thing with this concealer. Two big issues. The creasing was awful, but we'll go ahead and take the creasing out because the creasing could have been due to one of the powders. So it left like some of those shadows that you get, because I have, you know, I have like more light skin, and I have super dark under eye circles, like very dominant, very prominent dark under eye circles. So a lot of times, even with my full coverage concealers, you can always see a little bit of like that gray cast, and without going in with like super heavy, thick concealer, like I just can't fully ever get rid of that, and I've kind of like come to terms with that. Like whenever I want to do like high glam, then I kind of will maybe go for that look a little bit more, but on the day-to-day, I don't. So the issue with this is I looked in my, like, I had a whole video like filmed with this, and I was just like, after the full face of first impressions, that I didn't post because my under eyes looked so bad that I was just like, I can't do it. Like, there's certain things that I can kind of like live with, like, because my forehead can get a little splotchy, and you guys have already come to know and understand that. So y'all kind of look past that sometimes when my forehead is giving me some problems. But it was like this awful, like awful. Did I say awful again already? Because I'm going to say it one more time. Awful, like horrible hollow of like darkness, just pure darkness. Nothing about this concealer was full coverage. I don't care how much I blended it out. It just, once it was set down with powder, like it did not look nice. Initial application, like I mentioned, had me thinking that it was gonna like change my life, and it didn't, and it did not. Now, I am gonna try this again because I have a couple of days off of work coming up very soon for one of my best friend's weddings, which I'm so excited about. I will not be wearing this to her wedding because no, but it'll give me some time to play with it out and test it out a little bit more, and I will update, because this video probably won't go up until after next week, so it'll give me a little bit more time to like play with it and test it out, to kind of leave in the comment section below if my opinions about it have changed. But as of right now, so disappointed in that particular product. That I will say that I like 100% don't like, and I feel like my opinions on it, like some of these other products I feel like with more wear, more play, you know, different kind of techniques, I feel like I can get on board with it like eventually, and I can make it work for me. The next product that I want to talk about, I have tried several times. I've tried between 4 and 5 times at this point, which I feel like qualifies for several. So the Kat Von D Signature Brow. Listen, I don't like it. I always like to be optimistic. Oh, you know, it'll work in this situation or in that situation. So when I first tried this, I was kind of like, nope, don't like it. And then I was kind of like, well, you know what? It kind of gives a nice, more fuller, bushier, like more like unkempt brow, like just kind of sparsely fills things in. And it looks like you tried without, it looks like you did something, but like without trying too hard. So I was like, you know what? On easy, quick days, I might be able to get on board with this brow pencil. Even though at original application, I wasn't the biggest fan of it. Then I tried to do a structured brow with it. And I was pissed off, you guys. It took me so long to get a brow, like a nice brow with this. And not even a nice brow because I hated my brows that day. I actually have a video that I almost didn't want to post because this brow pencil played me so much. So here's the issue with this brow pencil. First of all, it tugs way too much. It is not creamy. It is not smooth. I feel like if you want to, I feel like this brow pencil would be best suited for if you want to get like a few extra like hair-like strokes, like very natural hair-like strokes. That's as far as I would probably take this brow pencil. I would not I would not do the initial line. I would not do any filling in with this brow pencil because it tugs way too much. It is not creamy. It is not smooth. I was super excited because I thought that the shape was kind of a little bit more unique. I like my Anastasia Brow Wiz better. I love the Benefit Precisely My Brow better. And I just tried this out for the first time today. The Dior Show Brow Styler. This is miles better than this product. Now, a lot of people, when this particular product, I haven't really heard too many people talk about this brow pencil. A lot of people are so into the powders right now, and I hear a lot of great things about the powder, so maybe that's the route that I should have taken instead, but I don't like this. It has no give. That's the best way to describe it. It has zero give whatsoever. Where you put it is kind of like where it's gonna stay, and it's just, no, don't like it. Don't like it. Okay, the next 2 products I actually do like. So out of everything in here, there are 2 products that I'm kind of like, can y'all see my old lady pillow? I am so sorry, you guys, my back has been hurting me. Let me kind of, there we go, that's better. So these next 2 products I actually like, but I wasn't as impressed or blown away as I thought I would be, especially for the price. The first product that I want to talk about is the Tatcha, the Silk Canvas Primer. Now let me go ahead and get this out of the way. Oops, I dropped the little spatula. I do like this product. I think that for what it is, and again, it's Tatcha, so like, you know, I can kick myself in the butt for that because I bought a Tatcha product and then I'm gonna complain about how expensive it is. Like, come on now. So I understand that, but for what it is, it's way too overpriced. Like, I kind of just like it as like something to kind of like smooth onto my skin to kind of give me that like that soft blurring effect, and it does do that like a little bit. But for the filling in the pores, I feel like my Benefit, no, not my Benefit, my Tarte Smoothing Primer, the one that comes in the pot, which I finally repurchased. I had been out of stock forever. That's my holy grail pore filling primer, and I used to talk about it all the time, but I went out of stock. I just picked it back up. You'll see it in an Ulta haul soon. I kind of thought that this was going to be that, but it was going to be a little bit more, it was going to be better for like more dry combination skin, and maybe even oily skin. Because the Tarte one definitely doesn't play well with like my dry patches, and I will put that out there. But overall, like if I concentrated a lot more, I feel like the Tarte one is just flawless. Now I do think that this one will work better if you do have a little bit more of dry situation, or if you're a little bit more combination. I do feel like this one will be better for you than the Tarte one. I'll go ahead and put that out there. What I don't like about this is whenever I buy something that's supposed to be smoothing, pore filling, pore refining, like I expect it to do that. You know what I mean? And I feel like it kind of, like I mentioned, it kind of just softly blurred the pores a little bit. But throughout the day, I felt like my pores became more and more visible. Whereas I feel like with my favorite Tarte primer, like you can really push it into the pores, and it just gives you like this super, super nice barrier. So the way that I judge makeup a lot of times that I buy, especially stuff that I have such high hopes for it, would it replace a holy grail product? If the answer is no, then it's kind of like, you know, you're good, but you're not going to replace anything that I already have. So that was kind of a negative about this. This was one of those products that I was just kind of, I don't want to say maybe underwhelmed is a better word for it. Not disappointed, because again, I will use this. I think underwhelmed might be better. And again, I've only tested this out about 3 times. And that's a lot of my problem and a lot of my issues. Like I just mentioned, if it doesn't replace any of my favorite stuff, I won't reach for it. I'll be like, okay, it was cute, but let me go back to the stuff that I know works. So I need to get better about trying things multiple times over and over and over again before like I fully cast it out. Now there are those products that you love instantly, and there are those products that you hate instantly. The stuff that falls in between, I need to kind of spend a little bit more time getting to know. But just based off of the first 3 or 4 times that I've used it, I liked it, but I was underwhelmed by it. Here is another product that I do like, but it wasn't what I thought it was gonna be. The Hourglass Veil powder, the translucent powder. Is this? Yeah, translucent setting powder. So here's my issue with this. It's labeled as a translucent setting powder. I don't think it's the best for like setting your entire face. And the reason why I say that is because it does have a little bit of a sheen to it. And if you do struggle with pores and you try to set your entire face or bake with this or apply large layers of this particular product on your face, then you end up looking a little bit shiny. You end up having a little bit of like glow in places that you don't want it. I think that this is better used as a buffing powder. And like at the end of like your steps, like when you take, you know, your finishing touches and you just want to make sure your highlighter, your bronzer, your blush is all nicely like smooth and like sunken into your skin, that is the best way to use this powder. But now that I know how to use it a little bit more, I'm kind of like, okay, for what it is, I like it. You know what I mean? For like, in that situation, I think that it can be very, very beautiful, but I bought it because I wanted it to be like a dry girl friendly all over setting powder. And I think that if my skin was a little bit more dry as opposed to like the combination oily that it's been probably for about the last 4 to 5 months, I probably would like it as a setting powder because it would bring life back into your dry skin. So if you have a dry skin, you probably would be like in love with this. That's just been my personal experience. Again, I do like this, but it was up here, and I'll link the video where I talked about it, talking about how amazingly life-changing I thought that this powder was going to be. I think it's like, you know, it's good. I feel like Hourglass just makes good products in general. I don't think that they've ever come out with anything that's just like overly bad, or at least that I've tried. I just had such higher hopes for this. I thought it was just going to give my skin this soft, focused, blurring, gorgeous finish, whereas opposed to whenever I try to use it all over the face, I end up looking a little bit more shiny. And I don't, just so you guys know, you know that I don't bake my under eyes. I don't bake anywhere on my face. I don't, because I do get dry in other places. I have severely dry under eyes. I get severely cracky between my forehead. My chin gets very dry. So I don't bake, period. I think that the best way to apply this powder, let me show you. So of course I don't have a brush. Of course I don't, because why would I have a brush? Here's a brush. Take a little bit of the powder in the like cap, tap off a good majority of the product, like a good majority of it, or like really stamp it into the and then just kind of hit kind of like the outer regions, maybe a little bit right there. Boom, that's it. Like, you don't want to go in with your pores and press the powder in this area if pores, like I'm doing essentially right now, if pores are a problem for you, because when you look in the mirror after an hour or two, you're going to be like, what is going on? So again, this video was to talk about products that, while possibly still, because there's only 2 products in here that I absolutely don't like. So this is just products that disappointed me, that did not live up to my high expectations, because my expectations for these products were super high, and I feel like most of them just fell in between like the, you're good, I'll probably still use you, but you know, I still would rather reach for like some of my holy grail stuff. Anyways, you guys, I really hope that you did enjoy this video. I really hope that you found it helpful and useful. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe down below if you have not already, and I will see you in the next video. Bye guys.